Good morning, everyone. This is Kimberly Dixon. We are in the garden again this morning. I'm outside enjoying the look of my beautiful fall mums. The cooler temperatures have them looking bright and vibrant. I enjoy being in my garden. It's always a pleasure. Even my kitty Silas enjoys. Say good morning, baby. Hi, beautiful. That's my baby boy. My moms are looking fantastic. This one is not looking as good as some of the others. I need to spend some time fertilizing it and making sure that it's healthy. But this morning I wanted to talk to you for just a minute about finding peace in your pain. Many times in life we go through every day and we put on this facade and we project this image that we are doing okay, and sometimes more than okay in life, when there are certain situations that we don't have peace around, that we are struggling with, and sometimes we don't even realize that we're struggling with them. But this morning I want to talk to you about finding peace in your pain, because it is possible. We're just going through the motions day after day, showing the world what we think they want to see. But sometimes we have these situations and these circumstances in our life that we really don't know what to do with, and we've never really confronted them. So we are carrying this burden around day after day, week after week, year after year. And many times in our life, the burdens that we are feeling and that we are carrying, they're not ours to carry. We've picked up the weight that somebody else carries in their life, whether it be our family members, our friends, people in social media, stars and things of that nature. We're carrying burdens that were never ours to carry. So this morning I want to talk to you about finding peace in your pain. Good morning, Tamika. We often don't realize that you can have peace in any situation, but we don't know what to do to find that peace. So today I'm going to share a couple little tips about finding your peace in your pain. And the first tip is you want to acknowledge it. But that's the tricky part. It's hard to acknowledge something that you don't even know is there. Because sometimes, we may be feeling like we're angry with our significant other or our spouse about something that they did, or the father or the mother of our children, when in actuality, the pain that we're feeling is the pain that we experience ourselves as children. We are angry with our mother or our father for the way things that they did to us, or the way that we've been treated. But now we're projecting all of that bottled up anger from 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago at the person who's standing in front of us. But so the first step to finding peace in your pain is, one, acknowledging it, but acknowledging the true root pain. Is it that you're mad that your father of your child or the mother of your child isn't doing handling their responsibilities now as an adult should? Or are you mad at your parent or your mother or your father because they walked out on you as a child? Good morning, Jacqueline. Are you bitter and angry because, although maybe you were in the household with both of your parents, but you were invisible to one of them? Or to both of them, that yes, you were in the household with them, but they never acknowledged that you existed. They didn't support you in a manner in which you needed to be supported. And now you're feeling and still carrying the burden and the weight of that. Good morning, Miss Cynthia. So the first step to finding peace in your pain is to acknowledge it, but to figure out what the root cause of that pain is. Because if you're just addressing the person or the situation that's in front of you now, that's just glazing over the surface. In order to truly find peace around it, you got to find out what the root cause of it is. And many times that dates back to something that happened to us when we were children, or something that we experienced, someone in our household experienced. It may not even personally have been us. We could have been a witness to something that happened to a sister or a brother, something that happened to a mother or a father. And now we're carrying the weight of that. So we're still carrying that pain. So that's the thing about pain. It will attach itself to you, and it will manifest itself. Good morning, Laura. Physically, it'll manifest itself emotionally, and it will manifest itself spiritually. So you got to acknowledge it. And just to tell a story around that, When in my 30s, I was consumed with this fear that I had that I wouldn't be able to take care of myself when I got older. I was in an excruciating amount of pain. I could barely take care of myself. Shopping, something as simple as going to the grocery store, was a taxing task, and I would be done for the whole day. Simple hygiene thing, taking a shower, taking a bath. I couldn't get in and out of the bathtub anymore. I was using a shower chair, and sometimes even just a simple act of getting in the shower was difficult because I couldn't bend my knee, and I would physically have to drag my foot over this 2-inch high water thing to prevent the water from getting on the floor. So I was consumed with this fear that I wasn't going to be able to take care of myself when I got older. And I was like, if it's this bad in my 30s, what is it going to look like when I'm 60 and I'm 70? I don't have any children. I'm not married. I can't take care of myself today. What am I going to do? And that caused a lot of fear, anxiety, stress. I was worried. I was consumed with it. But I had to come to this realization that what was it that I was really afraid of? And that was, I was afraid of being alone. So I had to acknowledge that before I could find peace about it. And as a life coach, I don't typically encourage people to ask what if questions. But this is a what if question that I do encourage you to ask when you're trying to find peace around something. What if this situation doesn't ever change? And here's the second part of that. What am I going to do about it today to make sure that this doesn't haunt me my entire life? Good morning, Melissa. So you got to acknowledge it and find out what the root cause of it is. But then you got to the second step is you got to make a decision. What if this pain doesn't change? And what am I going to do about it today? Say I had to make a decision that I wasn't going to live every minute of my life worried about what was going to happen when I was 50, 60, 70 years old and I was in my 30s. I was like, because I was losing my precious present, consumed about what was going to happen in 30 or 40 years. So that was the second step, making a choice to be present and active in the life that I had. And that was what allowed me to start finding my joy when I stopped being so consumed about the pain and what it was going to look like in 50, 60, 70 years. Because, good morning, Thomas, the future will take care of itself. And your third step is you want to be intentional about the work that you need to do to find your peace. Now, for some people, that's going to be writing in a journal. As a child, I used to write in a journal pretty frequently, but I wasn't of the right mindset. Then when I would go back and read it, it was like me reliving the pain, and it caused a tremendous amount of stress and just sadness. So I stopped writing in a journal. But when I got older, I returned to that. And I talk about that in my book, Can These Bones Live Again? Walking Through the Eyes of the Broken. That's available on Amazon.com. How sometimes we need to go back and look at those things that have happened and then do some intentional work. For some people, it might be writing poetry. It could be painting. It could be some creative expression. It could be going out in nature. I'm a hiker. We should all exercise every day, but exercising in nature is a different experience entirely. And guys, please share this video if you know someone who's grappling with some area of their life and they need some peace around something. Please share this video with others. You got to do the intentional work about it. I remember when my stepfather was killed in a tragic accident in 2005, I was depressed. So I went to my doctor and I got a prescription for something to help me deal with it. And sometimes that's what it is going to require. Now, it didn't work for me because I just felt like I was masking the pain. I had this smile plastered on my face and I was talking, but I still felt the sadness. So I stopped taking it. But if you have clinical depression or you have some other type of mental illness, get some help around that, because mental illness is real. I have a brother who suffers with manic depression, and I have seen the toll that it has taken on his life. So if you need some help from a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a mental health counselor, there's help available to you. And there's a stigma in the community around getting some help. But sometimes you have got to make the best decision for you. And that means going and get the help that you need. Make yourself a priority. But in the one of the last ways that I do intentional work around finding peace is talking to God. Now, I pray intentionally every day. I have a dedicated prayer time. I meditate every day. But that's different from me just talking to God. Sometimes I'll sit on the couch and just have a conversation with him and tell him I need some peace around this situation because I don't know when or if it's going to change. But in order for me to fill out my purpose in you, I got to have peace around this. And 9 times out of 10, either I'll have a dream about it or I'll get some kind of revelation in that moment that will allow me to have peace around the situation. But the one of the things that I want to stress the most with everybody is that I don't care who you are. I don't care what position that you have in life, whether it's a CEO of a corporation, you're the bishop in a church, you're an evangelist, you're a pastor, all of those things. There are moments and there are times in our life when we need to have peace around those situations, different situations. It could be around the death of a loved one. It could be around a divorce. It could be around a job situation. It could be around our home life. For single people, men and women, it could be about, finding that spouse, the loneliness that you feel because you're not married. Like, what if I don't ever get married? Okay, well, what are you going to do today to make sure that you have a peaceful and fulfilling life? Yes, I would love to get married, but I didn't decide I wanted to be married until I was 45. And I'll be 48 in just a few weeks. But I've got peace and I've got joy because I am leading a fulfilling and satisfying life because I made a choice that that's what I was going to do. I wasn't going to sit at home every day and wait for Boaz to come knock on my door, so to speak, because he may not know where I live. But we got to take action in our lives so that we can have peace around those situations that may not change. Yes, sometimes God will heal situations miraculously. Sometimes, you can get medical intervention and it may heal an illness that you have. But what are you going to do if your pain isn't going to end? That was the decision I had to make. What was I going to do if my knee pain wasn't going to end? Because at that time, I had no idea when and if I was going to get a knee replacement. I didn't know what the next day was going to look like. And I had to make some decisions around what is it that I was going to choose for me on this day. Because I can stay consumed with the fear about being able to take care of myself when I'm 60 or 70. Or I can learn how to live in peace when I'm 37 or 38. But taking those steps then is allowing me to live the life that I have now at 48. And it allowed me to continue without being consumed with the thought of, what if I don't ever get my knees replaced? What if this doesn't end? And in that situation, I guess that was around 2012, I started writing a blog. And I just had that realization just then. I hadn't written my book, Can These Bones Live Again, at that point, or any of my self-help books that are geared towards chronic pain sufferers. But I did start writing. I started writing on a blog and sharing with other people all the things that I had learned on my journey about mental wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, about all the pain interventions you could use for arthritis. And that was healing to me. It allowed me to have some peace because I was helping other people. So there is peace available to you in any situation. But first, we need to acknowledge it and find out what the root of it is. It's like, because is it the situation that is presently in front of you? Or is it something from the past that's haunting you? A burden, a weight that you're carrying that's either yours or it belongs to someone else. Because if it's somebody else's, you need to put it down. And even if it's yours, you need to put it down, because we weren't designed to walk around heavy laden and burdened and weighted down. God said we didn't have to live like that. And Jesus came so that we could have joy, love, peace, and abundance. But if we are walking around carrying weight, we don't ever feel that peace and we don't ever feel that joy. So guys, this has just been a moment in the garden with Joyful Living this morning. I hope you were able to glean something from this. I woke up this morning singing the song, You Are My Peace, from Juanita Bynum. Years and years, it's an old song. But I still hear that. And when I know I've got peace around a situation, I wake up singing that song, You Are My Peace. If you get an opportunity, look it up on YouTube. I can't remember the words to it right now. I know it. But I ain't going to sing for y'all this morning. Because I can't sing. You don't want that. But find out what is causing you pain in your life. Make a decision around it. What are you going to do? What if this pain doesn't end? What are you going to do today in this moment? Good morning, Curtis. What are you going to do to make sure that you have peace, that you have joy, that you have love? Don't walk around heavy laden and burdened down. We weren't designed to live that way. So guys, this has been a moment in the garden with Joyful Living. I love you all. If you need me, reach out to me in direct message. You can email me at coach@joyfulliving.com. Follow me on Instagram. Get my book from Amazon.com. And speaking of which, November the 18th, I'm having a live Q&A for pain management here in Raleigh, North Carolina at Authors and Arts Studio. Yes, I tell my story about my physical pain, but good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Talisha. But I also talk about ways in which you can handle pain on a spiritual level and a mental level. So please come out to that event. Share the event with your family and your loved ones who may have chronic arthritis or some other type of I'm losing my thoughts. Some other type of illness. My sister has MS. So this event, every time I've hosted this event, I had someone who comes up to me. It's like, I came to this event because I know you and I just wanted to support you. But I had no idea what I was going to get from this. I needed this today. So don't think that this is just pain management from a physical sense. If you are heavy laden and burdened down and carrying some emotional pain, in this particular session, we're going to have a chiropractor. We're going to have a mental health professional. We're going to have a life coach. And I'm working on getting a personal trainer there. So make sure that you're in the room for this. This is an experience that you don't want to miss. It's a pain management live Q&A. I'll speak some. I'll tell my journey, give you some tips. But then we're going to do a live Q&A panel at the end where you can get your questions answered. Because sometimes, we go to the doctor and they answer the physical questions from a scientific point of view. And we need that. But sometimes we need somebody to talk to us from an emotional and a spiritual standpoint as well. So make sure you join us at that event on November the 18th. Also, October the 20th, there's a ladies' tea being hosted by Kimberly Hines Winborn, 180. Oh God, Kim, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name up now, but I'll post the flyer in the comments. I'll be guiding a relaxation technique at the end of that tea. It's a day that you won't forget. It is designed to empower, inspire, uplift, and motivate you. It's going to be a wonderful afternoon. And then on November the 2nd, we are having the Love is a Parable anniversary. It had to be postponed because of Hurricane Florence, but we are having the anniversary for that, the 1-year anniversary, and that's going to be a great celebration. I am an ambassador for Love is a Parable. So come out and join us. There's a lot of great events going on. Don't sit at home carrying these weights when there are people and things going on in the community that are designed specifically for you. So I expect to see some of you all on some of those dates, and I'll put everything in the comments below. I love you. Have a great Saturday afternoon, because I got to get off and out here. I love being in the garden, but guys, it's cold this morning. See, I got my jacket on, but I will talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.